last.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Rebecca. I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. We became friends. I do a lot of vlogs, a lot of day in the life, and today I'm really excited because it is the last week of 2021, and which is kind of insane. And I've seen usually like the week between New Year's and Christmas, or Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of weird. You're like, what day is it? Like, it's just odd. But this week I really wanted to just be intentional with like what I do, and you know, setting goals for the new year, kind of like cleaning up life, as in like going on your documents on your computer, deleting, you know, stuff you don't need, going through your phone, stuff you could do on the regular day. But this week I really wanted to be intentional because, you know, once January hits, nothing really changes, but I wanted to just jump on ahead of things that I really want to do for the new year. So, you know, getting my life organized, setting intentions, seeing what I want for 2022, which is so weird to say. I don't know why. 2021 was like already like wow, but 2022, you're like, this just sounds so futuristic. But anyway, yeah, and I hope that, you know, this video will encourage you to do the same thing. I wrote down 10 things I learned in 2021, and it wasn't essentially that I like maybe learned it, but kind of, you know, finally put it into practice, or kind of had like that light bulb moment, and I wanted to share with you to, you know, maybe you can do it too this week before Friday, and kind of just start, you know, thinking of what you want for yourself in this new year. So first one is, you can't always lean on motivation. This is something that I have, for whatever reason, it's taken me a long time to like realize. It's just like, sometimes you're not going to be motivated, but you need to be disciplined. And if you're disciplined, that's where the magic happens. You know, sometimes you wake up and you don't want to work out, you don't want to, I don't know, you don't want to wake up early, you don't want to give that extra mile in your own life. And I feel like motivation, you're not going to be motivated all the time. You got to be disciplined. And that's just something that this year I've kind of had to be like, okay, I need to, even if I don't want to, you know, obviously don't force yourself to do things, but there are certain things that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Like working out, like journaling, like, I don't know, there's just things that are good for us that we don't really feel like doing that is good for us, you know what I mean? So that's the first one. Second one is, let go of what needs to be let go. The only thing that hurts is yourself, and it stumps your growth. So whether that's family issues, friend issues, personal issues, thoughts that you haven't let go of yourself, maybe you're you always put yourself down, or maybe you don't think you're good enough or whatever, let it go. Give it to God. Honestly, this is something I learned the last couple of years, like the last 2 years, I would say, is just let it go. There are things that you can hold on to emotionally, and that's just not good for you. And honestly, even for me, thinking about, you know, having a family in the near future, I'm like, there are things that I have to let go in order for my family to grow, in order for myself to grow. And if I don't let these things go, I'm gonna like, you know, bring it into my family, and I'm just like, no, this is just messy. And it is better to just like, you know, just give it to God, let it go. The third thing is, there is no set timeline to your goals. And this is, again, something that, you know, it's good to have goals. Like we're talking about setting goals for 2022, but I think it was Marianna Hewitt's podcast that she was saying that there are certain goals that she wrote down that it took years to accomplish. And it's kind of like, who is telling you that you have to do it in 12 months? You know what I mean? And sure, there are certain things that you are gonna get done in the next 12 months, or the next 3 months, 6 months, and it's amazing, which is great. But there are bigger picture stuff, maybe for your business, maybe for your family, maybe for yourself, that you're like, I want this house, I want this many kids, I want this car, whatever. That's all like, well, you know, some materialistic stuff. There is no reason why you have to kill yourself for this timeline. Especially for me, I don't have a house yet, I don't have kids yet, there are certain things I don't have yet, and it's okay. I'm turning 29 in a few weeks, which is insane. It's okay. Do I have goals to accomplish those things? Yes. And am I gonna pursue them? Yes. But if they don't happen in a certain timeline, it is okay. We literally have the rest of our lives, you know, to get certain things done. And as long as you're doing your best, as long as you're working really hard, as long as you're doing everything you can, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen, and it's meant for you. You know what I mean? So like, just, there is no timeline. Set those goals, work for those goals, even for your business, even for social media goals. Like, set them, and if they come ahead of time, amazing, celebrate that. But if they don't, like, if your certain goals don't like meet in the time frame that you thought they would, it's okay. Continue working on those goals. It doesn't mean that it's not meant for you, and it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It's just, it's not the right time, and that's okay. So that's a good one. The next one, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Work hard, like really, really hard. And I feel like a part of me is naturally really, really lazy. And some people are like, you look so motivated, and it's like, no. Like, I would rather lay in bed. But what successful person is laying in bed? And I'm not talking about taking breaks, mental health, all that stuff. That's great. And there are times where, yes, you need to shut off, you need to, you know, whatever. But I also believe that there's a time to grind. And I feel like I'm in that season. I don't have kids, I don't have certain responsibilities, and I'm like, this is my time to grind on what I want to work hard on. Even when you do have kids, you are able to do that. But I'm just saying that for me specifically, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just not there yet, or not here yet. And then I look at other people, and I'm like, even though everything online is not as real, and I get it, but I'm like, I could have pushed a little bit harder. I could have woken up a little bit earlier. I could have gone a little bit harder on XYZ. And again, there has to be a healthy balance to that. I'm not saying to go crazy, don't sleep. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying that there is a time to grind and a time to enjoy. And that is where I'm at, is like, I just want to work really, 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 really hard, because naturally for me, I'd rather watch TV. I'd rather just binge watch shows. I could binge watch shows in like a day. I know that everyone can too, but literally me and Isaiah have this joke where like, we'll start a show, and obviously he has a more 9-to-5 work, and the next day I'm like, oh, I'm done, did I not tell you? And he's like, no. Like, great, so we're not watching the show together? I'm like, no, I've been done with that one. So I have to work really, really hard at being disciplined and being, you know, motivated to work, like I was talking about. But yeah, this is just my time to grind, and I'm okay with that. And I need to, you know, put my focus on and forget about what other people are doing and just focus on what I want to do. So that's where I'm at this year. Read books. Okay, I think I mentioned this in the vlog before, or a video, that I realized I'm not a natural reader, so I got Audible, because I'd rather listen to someone than like sit and read. It's just like, listen, my sister, best reader, like, she can read books like I can watch TV shows. Like, she gets hooked to books, and I'm like, I wish. I'm mentally like, when I'm reading, I'm just reading the words, but like my mind is elsewhere. And so I feel like with Audible, I'm able to take a shower and listen to the book, or, you know, drive my car and listen to the book, or as I'm cleaning, listen to a book. So all that to say is that every information you need, someone probably wrote a book on it. And I remember speaking to someone, because me and Isaiah, some guy from Shark Tank was coming to Orlando. We're like, oh my god, like, we should go see him. He was doing like a motivational type of like seminar, which those are good, but I think he was like teaching on something specific. Anyway, so we told this person, and we were like, oh my god, we're gonna go, like, we want to go. And the person was like, he was like, you know that seminars are kind of like, not, he wasn't downing seminars, but he was just saying like, whatever you need from that seminar, someone probably wrote a book on it. And I was like, you're right, because I remember reading a book on marketing, and the amount of things that I was like, someone wrote a course on this, someone is teaching like a lesson on this on Instagram, like vividly remembering lessons that I've seen on Instagram, like, you know, people doing like, you know, like lessons on Instagram and like selling courses and stuff. And I was like, it's all in this book. And so not many people like to read books, but they want the information given to them. And I'm like, if you just read this book, you could have figured that out. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. All that to say is that literally any information, obviously you can Google, but any information you need, whether that's business advancement, whether that's personal advancement, like whether that's like how to eat better, or just like mindset stuff, or I don't know, there's a book for everything. And I'm like, just read. If you could just like hone in on the books that you like to read. You know, some people like reading for, you know, to escape from reality, or like they just like reading stories. That's great. I like reading books that are like motivational, like self-help books, stuff like that. But my point to that is just like, if you are wanting to, like, before you buy a course, there's probably a book on what it is that you're really wanting to learn. So read a book. If you don't like reading, get Audible. I 100% recommend. The next one is comparison is the thief of joy. Kind of what I was talking about earlier about there's no time frame to your goals. Okay. Yes. Comparison is the thief of joy. Honestly, guys, in this world with social media now, like, it's insane how it's easy for you to compare yourself to everybody else. But if you just stick to your lane and you're just thankful for what you have and you're just focusing on your growth, your family's growth, what's meant for you is gonna come for you. And it's just so much energy wasted on being jealous of other people and, you know, being envious of other people, not being happy for other people. Like, that is just such wasted energy. Just be happy for everything you have and focus on that. Focus on the growth of your life, your personal life, and know that what is out there is meant for, like, it's gonna come to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if your friends are thriving. I have friends that are thriving, okay? Thriving. And they're a couple steps ahead of me. And if I was so envious of them, it wouldn't do nothing for our friendship. It would do nothing for me. It would do nothing for them, really. Like, it does nothing for anybody. So just focus on yourself. And it really goes hand in hand with, like, my next one, which is celebrate everyone's wins, okay? This is something that I think naturally, like, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I do like celebrating my friends in the sense of, like, if they tell me something, I'm like, that is amazing. Like, I'm constantly, like, I feel like I'm encouraging people because I truly believe in, you know, my friends, people, everyone, you, like, I believe in what the dreams that you have, like the dreams that God has given you. And I'd rather celebrate you than be super envious of what you have versus what I don't have. And so I would recommend just celebrate. If you're feeling crappy or you're feeling like, man, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have XYZ, like, no, just celebrate what your friends have. Like, when my friends were out here getting apartments and buying houses and I wasn't, I was just like, guys, I am so freaking happy for you. Like, I am so excited. And it wasn't out of like a, you know, like, it wasn't sarcastic. It wasn't like, oh, like, I'm so happy for you. It's like, no, I am genuinely happy for you because I know, like, you deserve that and more, and my time is coming soon. Do you know what I mean? Even though it hasn't come now, it's coming soon, and I'm just gonna focus that and celebrate you because you deserve it, you know? So celebrate your friends and the people around you. Next one, number 8, if you're afraid, do it anyway. It's probably worth it. That's like my life mantra, because literally I wasted my entire early 20s being afraid, and I regret it. And I know that don't regret, but, and you know, that's why I'm so focused on, like, the future and, you know, myself, because the first few years, even like in my high school, I was just so afraid, and it did nothing for me. It absolutely did zero for me, because I wish I would have just done stuff earlier. And, you know, I feel like there's just so, like, we all have stuff inside of us that we're wanting to pursue, that we're wanting to do. Maybe there's someone that we want to confess our love to. I don't know what's other stuff, like maybe dressing a certain way that your family's like, what are you wearing? And you're like, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna change. There are certain things that we all want to do, but we don't do it because we're so afraid. And I feel like that just, it does nothing for you. It keeps you safe, but it doesn't even keep you safe. It keeps you hidden. It keeps you, like, and it's like hidden from like who you're supposed to become and be. And I don't know, I am focusing the rest of my life to doing stuff that I'm afraid of, because I know that it's worth it. I know that maybe I have an idea that I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about it, I don't know if I want to do it. And it's like, no, do it, because if it's for you and if it's what God wants for you, it's gonna happen. And I feel like you'd rather like try than not try at all. So it's like, for the next year, it's like whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, to pursue, to say, to do, to wear, to experience, whatever, like travel, do it. Like it's better to try than not try at all. So the next one, which is number 9, is the life you've dreamed of is available to you. And it has taken me so long to accept that, because I feel like for the first, like, you know, my early 20s, college, late teens, I've just been like, oh well, I guess it's just not meant for me. Like everyone else is doing this, everyone else is getting that, but that's not for me apparently. Like maybe that's not, you know, what God wants for me. And I feel like that is such a just a horrible way to think of stuff. Like God wants you to dream big and then some. And I feel like for me, I've allowed myself the last 2 years to talk like a little bit, not crazy, to some is crazy, and I used to think you're crazy. You're like, wow, that's not gonna happen for you, sweetheart. I used to think like that, and it's like, no, say that, speak it into existence, have faith, pray. And I feel like work really, really hard, and it's like whatever is meant for you and whatever you dream of, the life that you dream of, the house that you dream of, the family, the lifestyle that you dream of is available to you, and it can come. And so I feel like the last couple of years I've been like, okay, that's whatever life, like that's, I can have that too. I can have that house too. I can have, and it's not even materialistic stuff, it's like the mindset freedom, the freedom of like, of just thinking that you can't, of pursuing things that you'd want to do, like those things too. It's like whatever you see someone else do that you're like, man, I wish I could have that, but I know that's probably not gonna happen for me. No, why not? Like work hard and have a vision, have goals. Like if it's having a dream board, if it's every month you're checking in on your goals, like whatever it is that works for you, like do it, because so that it can come true. So that even if it comes true in 10 years and 20 years, like I've always said, I'm like, I want a house up north, and I want to be able to bring my kids, and we have a house up north. And a couple years ago, I'm like, good luck, Rebecca, you can't even have a house here, like, you know. And it's like, no, like why not? Why can't I say that? Why can't I visualize that? Because when you visualize it, it's like you start working towards it. It's like working backwards. You're like, no, I want a house in up north, and I want to have, you know, be able to have that house to be able to go on vacations with, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm gonna keep saying that until it comes true. And for you, you could do the same thing. Whatever it is that you want, that you see other people have, you can have that too. It's not just the world has favorites. Like we're all dealt this, well, no, you know, everyone is dealt different cards in life, but like you can make it happen. What you can work hard for it, you can visualize it and make it, you know, come to life. So yes. And the last one is your mindset is the key to everything. Guys, 2019, 2020 and 2021, I've been working on my mindset. It's insane how if your mind is negative, if your mind is full of just all these negative thoughts, your life is going to be negative. Like, and it's not like, oh, let me be, you know, positive to a fault. It's not that. It's like once your mindset changes and you realize like it's all on me. If I want the life, if I want this life, if I want that life, I need to have this correct. Because if you feel like you can't, you're not going to. If you feel like you're the victim in life, you are going to be the victim in life. If you feel like you can, your life is gonna go that way. Oh my god, dark. So I feel like working on your mindset, working on your goals, working on yourself, working everything internally is the key. is the key to being successful, is the key. There's literally people that I used to think, I'm like, oh my God, you're so arrogant. And some people are, but those people were confident enough to think, I can do that. Like, I can do this, I can do that. And they try, they've probably failed multiple times, but they never gave up. And that's where it's like, okay, there has to be a switch in your mind for you to be like, okay, I could do this. Like, and I've been reading the book, what is it called? The High Five Habit, or the High Five, whatever, I forgot the name of it right now, but it's Mel Robbins. And it's a lot of just like your mindset and reframing everything that you've told yourself since childhood, that you can't, that you're the victim, that you're this, that you're that, and reframing it to like, you can, you could do this, like being your own cheerleader. And I have found myself like doing anything. I could be working out, I could be working and like wanting to stop and wanting to just take a nap, and I have to talk to myself. I'm like, you could do this, Rebecca, you could do this, you could do that. Like, give yourself 10 more minutes. And it sounds like you're crazy, but it's not. You have to talk to yourself. Your mindset is so strong, and it's so like capable of ruining you or capable of like accelerating you and giving you the best life. So I feel like in the new year, it's like, nope, I'm gonna do this, I've got this. If you're wallowing because something bad happened, it's like, okay, Rebecca, you could be sad for a couple hours, go to bed, watch that movie, don't talk, like put your phone away, but tomorrow we gotta do this. If I don't do it, no one else is gonna do it. I'm not gonna put that responsibility on my husband, I'm not gonna put that responsibility on my family. It's like, it is my job to encourage myself, it is my job to walk through certain things, because if not, it's just not gonna happen. So those are the 10 things I learned this year. I hope that it encourages you and motivates you to kind of self-reflect and do that and set goals for the new year. But if there's anything that you took from this, is like, you've got this, you could do this, the life that you want is out there and it's available for you. And if you're afraid, do it anyway. And so yeah, it's crazy. It's the last year, or the last video of 2021. I'm so thankful. I started in May, I believe, doing YouTube. And you know, whoever's out there watching this, I hope that you have an amazing week. I hope that 2022 brings you everything you've dreamed of. And if it brings you some bad stuff, it's okay. It's okay. It's just your story, and it gets better. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next year. Bye guys.